Hey, what's up, everybody? It's episode 524 of Nintendo Dads. It's April 17th, 2025. And on tonight's show, we talk about the Mario Kart Direct, as well as other Switch news and rumors. Jesse, you know what to do. Hey, everybody, it's Marty here. And along with me tonight on the show is Jesse Waldack at the ones and twos. How you doing, buddy?
It's been a week, and I'm sore. I'm tired. Kind of hoping for a quick and dirty show.
Well, maybe that's what we're going to get. Maybe you're going to get a quick and dirty show. You never know.
I found out during pre-show that I was on the wrong scene, so I don't know if it recorded, or if it recorded, or if it recorded your voice.
You know
it
what?
would have recorded my voice just fine, but I don't know.
It'll be okay.
We'll find out.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. If not, well, just have Robo Jesse do it. All right. If it doesn't work, he can take care of it. Not on the show tonight are Justin and Tim. Tim is dealing with a little bit of a cold, and he is sick. And so, Tim, we wish best wishes to you. Hope you get well very soon. And Justin is pulling dad duty tonight, which is the other side of our podcast, Nintendo Dads. He's doing the dad thing tonight at one of his daughter's rugby games, and so he won't be joining us. However, we do have a very. I'm gonna feel like a meteorologist when I say this. We have a slight chance of Roger from Roger's base blowing into our region tonight, if he's able to, and if he does get to come on the show, he's going to grace us for just a few minutes and talk about his experience at the Switch 2 experience out in California. And I'm looking forward to that because I really want to talk to somebody who's been hands-on with this thing. If you're out there and you've been hands-on with this thing, I would love for you to call in and leave us a voicemail and talk to us about your experience. That the number you could call in to leave a voicemail about anything, not just Switch 2 related, is 92925-NDADS. That's 929-256-3237. And we will play your voicemail on the show, like our good friend Christian, who graces us with his beautiful voice every now and then. I'm like Jesse. It's been a week. I'm sorry. As you can hear, I'm recovering from a cold and myself, like seasonal allergy stuff. And sometimes the cough gets out before I'm able to hit the mute button or before I'm able to stop it. But we do have a little bit of news to talk about tonight. Nintendo's Mario Kart World Direct, as well as some stuff we missed from last week. And we're going to kind of get you queued up for what we're about to do over the next few weeks, which is decide our top 25 Nintendo Switch games of all time. And that is games that have released prior to the launch of Switch 2. Because, yes, we know it, it's all gonna play over there except for Labo and Ring Fit, but we get it. So without further ado, Jesse, let's head over to the news, shall we? And our news and the ad-free version of this podcast is brought to you by patreon.com/Nintendo Dads. It's you. You're the one who makes it possible over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads, where for as little as $1 a month, you can join up with the greatest community on the internet. Right now, if I open up Discord, which you get access to, by the way, for just $1, folks are talking, man. There is all kinds of buzz going on in the Nintendo stuff sub channel with some edited photos and all kinds of stuff. Talking about the Direct today. PlayStation stuff is hopping. The Ask the NINDADS channel is hopping. We've got the junk drawer. We've got the top 25 Switch games. And if you're on our Discord, we would love to hear your top 25 list. We'll refer to this later on in the show. But there's a ton of stuff going on over there. $1 gets you in the door. $5 gets you the full channel, full slate of sub channels on the Discord. $10 gets you pre and post show audio, and $30 it gets you a Patreon producer slot like Jacqueline Amira and Dave Ernsberger. And we're very thankful for all of our patrons, whether you're at the $30 level or you're at the $1 level. You make the world go round. You help us get to PAX. You help us be able to afford Switch 2. So we're very, whatever it's going to cost when they finally open a pre-order. Who knows? So we'll figure that out. But we do want to say a huge thanks to our brand new patrons, Dusty Rogers, Joshy Wawa, and Wes Brown, as well as the folks who've joined up since last week when Tim announced our brand new kind of initiative. If you're a first time patron and you join up over there, there is a discount for you in the Nintendo Dads Patreon. You can become a friend of the show for a discounted price if you're a first time patron. Not just if you're coming back, sorry. We do welcome you back with open arms. We can't wait to give you a hug and ask you how your day's been, give you a plate of milk and cookies after school, all that stuff. But first time, brand new patrons, you get a discount for joining up. And we want to thank those three for taking advantage of that. So head over to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads where you can get all that good stuff. And again, your own ad-free feed for the show. Because who wants to hear ads, right? I mean, I don't. I skip them. What I do. But yeah. So let's dive into the news. Today was the Mario Kart Direct that was promised last week, or was it 2 weeks ago? Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
When the Switch 2 was finally unveiled. And man, oh man, was this a direct?
It was a direct.
It was a direct. We can call it that. So wild swing of opinions on social media about this that I've seen today. A lot of people very, very happy with what they saw. A lot of people not happy with what they saw that felt like Nintendo maybe just didn't really have to make this a direct. It could have been an email.
Yeah, I think the overall message is I don't think this changed anyone's minds.
No.
If you were already all in, you're still all in. If you
Yeah.
were meh, you're still meh.
Yeah, so about that, interestingly enough, Nintendo's own Bill Trennan about a week ago tweeted, "Wait until the direct. This will show you why it's worth $80." And I saw a lot
I
of people
I
dig that
I,
tweet up today
I think I missed that part.
and said it absolutely did not show why it was worth $80. Um, but let's talk about it. Let's give a rundown of this direct. It was 15 minutes in length. You can go and watch Justin react to this. We actually tried very hard to get a live reaction out to you guys this morning. Tim was going to record that, and then Tim texted us or messaged us about 2:45 in the morning this morning and said, "There's no way I'm going to be able to do it. I'm sick. I feel like doo doo, and I'm not going to be able to be on the show tonight either." And I did not see that until um, 7:15 this morning because I thought he had it
Oh,
handled. I thought I was going to roll out of bed and Tim was going to record it on Discord and everything was going to be fine. And I woke up to Justin panic messaging me several times. "Tim's sick. Are you going to be able to do the live react? How do I set this up?" And I'm like, I got it. I got it. Because I thought, boy, do I know it. At 7:59, we went into panic mode because I couldn't get the echo out of my voice on Discord through OBS. And so I was going to be smart. I was like, I've got this licked, brought up QuickTime on my Mac and did a screen record on the my monitor here right in front of me. If you're watching the video part, I'm gesturing toward you. Um, and it did great, except for the fact that it didn't record the audio from YouTube and it didn't record Justin's audio either. So I got off and we talked about it a little bit. We got off and I played it back and immediately knew it was busted. And I just messaged Justin like, "I'm so sorry." And he said, "Fine, I'll do it." So, but that's up on our channel. So you can go get his thoughts. Let's just talk about what was talked about. Very quick bullet points here. Again, it was emphasized that Mario Kart World is an interconnected world, that the game's courses are interspersed throughout the map. They can be raced on day and night, and you do have to race and drive between the two. They did show off more about Grand Prix mode, including the fact that Rainbow Road will be able to be unlocked. Duh. I mean, come on, guys. If you've played a Mario Kart game, just because they didn't show Rainbow Road at the beginning doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It's out there. And you better believe they're not going to miss their chance to have you running on the edge of a rail down a 3 lap Rainbow Road that you could lose anytime because that's Nintendo, right? So that's there. They also showed a little bit more about
They're,
Knockout Tour. Not,
they're probably going to have the rail just stop midway through grind. And like,
oh
you better
yeah,
hop off or you're going to fall.
oh yeah, yep. I absolutely see that. Knockout Tour was showed a little bit more. Um, not anything really new revealed about that, other than they showed off some stage hazards like bullet bills on wheels, Hammer Brothers, and other things you have to drive to survive there. Free roam did get a little bit more, where it showed off P switches that could be hit in different locations to trigger missions or to trigger things that happen on the map that allow you to get something new. And we'll come back to that here in just a minute. Uh, the Actually, let's do this right here. So they also talked about when we first saw Mario Kart World, it's centered on that little like drive-through eatery place called Yoshi's, right?
Right.
And we've seen that several times. Those are actually going to be all around the map, and when you find them, you can pick up a takeout sack that's outside them, and it's called Dash Food. And the dash food, when you use it, it's like it's different for every place you're in. So it could be like sushi or a bag of chips or a hamburger. When you use it, you get a speed boost, but you also unlock a costume for the character that you are playing. Um, which then we've since that day gone on to discover, or since that time gone on to discover that all of these costumes take up an extra spot in the character selection. So you'll have like Wario and Cowboy Wario and Pirate Wario and Kimono Wario and all these
Right.
different things. But they're not like all under Wario. They're just in a different spot on the thing. They
It's
just
like each page is that costume for all the characters. Because someone showed,
well,
well, not 100%, but someone
not
showed like two
100%.
separate pages, and the characters were pretty much in the same order, just different had
Yes.
different costumes.
Yeah. It was I
So
think it was the Japanese like inspired kimonos and things like that. It showed those. So those are out there for you to unlock, as well as the P switches, as well as um, like block pads that you could drive over, and it unlocks something. There's going to be, they said, hundreds of P switches to find. So whatever that means. Battle mode was showed off for the first time today. Two versions of battle mode, including balloon battle and coin runners. I hope that there's more, because with 24 people able to play at the same time, why would you not do cops and robbers? Um, that would be insane. I would love that. They did also confirm, and this let's go back to Grand Prix here. They did confirm returning tracks from past Mario Kart, Toad Factory, Peach Beach, Wario Shipwreck, different things like that, as well as in the battle mode. Eagle-eyed people noticed Big Donut coming back from Nintendo 64 battle mode days, even though it's been really redone. So there are some things there. New techniques were mentioned, including the charge jump, and this is the way that you're able to grind rails. You're able to jump over items. This is where you'll be able to like wall ride for a little bit, as well as a brand new rewind feature. If you're playing free roam or single player, which I guess that would mean single player knockout tour or single player Grand Prix, you can rewind to reset your vehicle to the original position. The downside to that is the race continues around you. You just move back to your original
Right.
spot.
So is there no more Lakitu saving you, or do you still do that with a penalty and you have to choose between which penalty is the lesser of two
That's a
evils?
great question because they showed at a point the penguin character was racing and it went off the map and it looked like it was like doing the and it fell and lost some coins. And I wonder if that they didn't show Locky to bring him back to the track, but then again, they weren't showing like the actual view of the race at that time either.
Right.
So
Um,
that's a good
but
question. They did not answer.
with all these other secrets and stuff, well, which is kind of a detractor to me because it kind of one thing I didn't really want was a platformer on wheels, and that sounds like what we might be getting here. Uh, but
You mean you don't want City Connection 3D?
no, I didn't want the 2D one.
Oh, that was one of my favorite NES games, Jesse,
but
as a kid.
I did play it, and I
It's
didn't
terrible.
understand it. It
It's
is.
terrible, but let's just be honest. It was for me as a kid renting that from the video store. Yeah.
I'm wondering if they're going to introduce some like a cart notes to help you find P switches and pads you've missed.
So you bring up something interesting, and that's that we've seen this game now twice. The introduction during the Switch 2 reveal and this very own direct. And there are still a lot of questions, like a lot of things that I feel like they didn't tell us, a lot of things that are
Yeah,
still hanging out there.
I thought this thing should have been more than 15 minutes and should have had a lot more
It
information
could have
in it.
been. It could have been. It could have been easily 20, 25 minutes and not given everything away. A couple other things that were highlighted again 24 racers in Grand Prix and Knockout Tour modes. New items were shown off like the coin shell, the feather, Hammer Brothers hammers, the ice flower, which freezes people and causes them to slide,
That
different
did
things
have
like
a
that.
nice effect on it. It's like the enemy
Yeah,
frosted over.
I know that. I thought that was pretty cool. They did also emphasize that fun with everyone. Up to 4 players can race split screen on the same system. The game also supports local wireless play where 8 players, up to 2 players per Nintendo Switch 2 system can race together. Although I'm a little confused on that because it showed when they said that it said 8 switches. I thought it said 8 switches, and on the direct it shows 8 switches, and then they
Yeah,
said two per system. So it sounds
yeah.
to me like 16 and not
So,
8.
well, you can get 16 players with 8 switches.
Yes, but here in these notes, and I'm reading it from, it says up to 8 players. So we'll have to wait and see
I
on that.
I would lean towards what the direct said. That could be up to
Yeah,
16 players
yeah.
in that mode.
Um,
That's using
well,
ad hoc network. That's not using like
yes,
Wi-Fi.
yeah. They also
So
showed off
so all 8
online.
people have to be in close proximity.
That's true. Yeah, like in a living room. Uh, they showed off online and also in free roam. You can see where the people that you want to play with are. Like if you have a friend who's in the game with you, like if you're in one track and they're in another
And
region,
you can fast travel.
you can fast travel to them. They also did mention too that when you're playing with friends, you can do the traditional Grand Prix mode, which is just the race is over. You don't have to drive to the next track. It's just 3 laps and you move to the next track. Or you can make everybody drive themselves to the next track, but it doesn't have the same route that's in Grand Prix like when you play as a single player. You can choose your own route. I
I'm
guess the
kind of
race
glad
just
that
starts when everybody gets there.
I'm kind of glad that they mentioned that because part of the that golf game that I didn't like was having to run to the next hole and
Yes.
or whatnot
That yeah.
or I mean run. You had to actually instead of just getting reset in front of the ball, you had to run to the ball and
Like it sounds like the driving between tracks will be fun. the first few times you do it, and then after a while, it's like, oh my gosh, come on.
Right.
You know, if you're playing, especially if you're playing with little kids, and they're like, we're coming, and you're up in the
Yeah.
northwest quarter, and they're down in the southwest quarter because they've been going the wrong way.
This actually, I'm going to talk myself out of this game. I might actually just go with the 450 bundle instead of the 500
There
bundle
you go.
now
Hey,
after
all
this.
right. But Jesse, how will we game chat? And speaking of game chat,
Well, you can still game
uh,
chat. I'm just playing a different game.
yeah, we did see a little bit of game chat's interface in the game in selecting people's faces, and it showed off for the first time. That you can do game chat where the windows are at the bottom, or you can have them in game as like a little bubble above a cart, so you can see who you're shooting at and you can see their reactions in real time. I thought that was pretty cool. It's called camera play. Your face will show up beside your racer, and you'll see your friends' reactions when you play online. When you play locally with family and friends on the same system, a single camera can detect up to four people's faces that you can see in game. I thought that's pretty cool tech.
Yeah, and apparently you don't have to be in the right order. So if I'm player 4, but I'm the second one in a row, I can tell the game this
Yeah.
one's me, and it'll figure it out.
Yep.
So
There,
I did
there's
have
a there's
I
a
did have
colored
a
reticle that's around your
yeah,
face, like
right.
blue, green, yellow, red.
Right,
So,
you're able to tell the game I'm player 4, even though I'm here,
yep.
based on the color. Yeah, I did have a someone reach out to me saying that while it's not an official mode that would be compatible, at least we'll have maybe when Switch 2 versions of Picross comes out, it will be. But if we can play the same puzzle with screen share and just like we can like you have our own little races who can beat a puzzle faster or something like that. So we can then see each other's progress. So I'm like, okay, that's like something I would do.
I mean, a couple other things here. I think that would be interesting, to help people out that way. A couple other things that were mentioned too. Time trials will be returning as well. And during the versus race, like I talked about, where you can change the rule set, and you can also race in now not just two teams, but three teams or four teams. So you could split
Right.
those 24 people up into four teams of six or three teams of eight, which is actually pretty cool. Might help spread some of the if people are really good, if you got four people who are really good, they can be, well, you can separate them out on different
Right.
teams.
Well, we don't know what the limits are of that. It still sounds like, well, if you're playing with all 24 people, obviously you still have to have the teams even. But if
Yeah.
like, can you have 12 people, team of 4, team of 8? I don't know yet.
Who knows? That they did not show that, Jesse. That, again, questions
Exactly.
unanswered. They did also highlight that there will be assistance features, or accessibility features available at launch, like smart steering, auto accelerate, auto item use, tilt controls, and of course the Joy-Con 2 wheel accessory will be available at launch, so that
Oh
you can
boy,
kind of almost feel like you're really driving.
I use tilt controls.
Yeah, I'm not. Justin and I were both like, yeah, we're not buying that. So that was it. That was the direct. Seriously, pretty much. I'll be honest. It was whelming, not over, not under. We polled our patrons and friends of the show, and overwhelmingly, most of them said, "Yes, I want to play Mario Kart World. This makes me excited to play." A few said, I was just whelmed, not over, not under. And then we had a couple who voted for no. I'm not excited for Mario Kart World, or my fourth option, Moo Moo, not Cow.
Right.
I mean, come on, Nintendo. If you're going to name it, then call it by its name. All right, it's not a cow. It's Moo Moo. That's the cow's name, and I
It makes
refuse to
sense
call
to
it just
me.
cow. I'm not going to call it cow. I'm not going to do that. So yeah. Anyway, um, yeah. So Jesse, you're not the greatest Mario Kart fan or the biggest Mario Kart fan, and
No,
like you just said, you may have talked yourself out of this. This did not hype you up in any way.
no. Maybe that's one advantage of not having pre-orders yet. Here is like it gave me the time to talk myself out of it.
Yeah, right. Because I mean, those bundles were announced today again as only going through fall 2025 and saying that those are going to be when they're gone, they're gone. It'll just be the 450
Yep.
bundle from then on.
And then you're spending 530 to buy the game and the system.
Yep. You snooze, you lose.
I'm sure it'll come up as Black Friday deals. Maybe not in year one, but subsequent years, I'm sure
They are
it's
going
going
to
to come
have a
back.
Switch 2 Black Friday deal. I really believe it. It'll come back. Hey guys, remember that bundle? Well, we found some.
Now it comes with NSO.
Switch 2 with Mario Kart World. It's year 7. The year is 2032, and we're still getting the Nintendo Switch 2 Mark 1 with the Mario Kart World and 3 months of NSO bundle.
Darth Platypus says this Black Friday deal will be a Switch 2 bundled with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Oh my gosh. I will say that for me, part of the reason that it just feels whelming and not over or under, and I mentioned this to Justin while we were recording the failed video, is that it's really hard to go from the cast of characters that we've had in Mario Kart 8 for how long? How long has Mario Kart 8 been a thing? 10 years?
At least, maybe 12?
10 years, 12 years, and 96 tracks. We've gone from that cast of characters and 96 tracks to,
30?
pages and pages of characters, but most of them are just costumes, and 32 tracks, of which it's confirmed that 10 of those are older tracks from older games, and only 22 are new. So
Right. I'm sure
I
there'll
know
be
that
the
that's
inevitable DLC, but
oh, I'm sure, but I know that sounds very first worldy to say only 22 new tracks, but when like guys, we're literally a third of what we had with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And I get it. It's 10 years of time.
yeah.
And I hope
And
it
then,
doesn't
well,
take that
then you got
long.
all that space between the tracks too. So
You do have all that space
there,
between
there
tracks.
is a
That's a
lot of
good
real
point.
estate here.
Yeah, I mean there's a world. So we can't really knock that. Hey, here's a news item that we missed last week. Moving on, some folks called this out that we did not talk about this. That the Sega Genesis app got an update last Thursday with 3 brand new NSO games: Streets of Rage, Super Thunderblade, and eSWAT City Under Siege. So if you've got a hankering for some classics, Sega's got you covered there. Streets of Rage is actually pretty good still. I mean, if you were a Sega kid and you didn't have Super Nintendo, you couldn't play Final Fight. It was their version of Final Fight. And
Right.
Streets of Rage 2 is good, or Streets of Rage is good bones for what eventually became Streets of Rage 2, which is one of the best 16-bit beat 'em ups of all time. The soundtrack alone is just ridiculous.
I think they can, they had Streets of Rage 4 on Switch.
Yeah,
So it kept on, the franchise lived on.
the streets kept on raging all these
Right.
years later. They're still raging. Also out now, right now on Nintendo Switch, Monument Valley and Monument Valley 2 are came out this week. Skies Above, which we've got a Let's Play of. There's about 15 minutes of footage there. We also have footage of Monument Valley 1 and 2. That's combined in one video. And then Rusty Rabbit and Timpopo. Those are all out, and we should have videos pretty soon. Lunar Remastered Collection is out tomorrow. If you've never played those games, those were RPGs, JRPGs that came out on the Sega CD back in the day. And I played the original Lunar, and it's got some great animation. Like the cutscenes were really, really quality. And I fell in love with that game, but alas, it was too hard for me back in the day. I couldn't beat it. So
Ah,
it was also rented. So I had to give it up. MotoGP 25
it,
is out at the end of this
well,
month.
how did storage work? Did you have your own data save since it was on a
You
CD?
know, I that's a good question.
Because if you rent a CD, I'd imagine you'd be able to rent it again and continue from where you left off with some sort of data save.
So it said that the players record their progress by saving to either the Sega CD RAM, internal RAM, or a separately purchased RAM cartridge that
Oh,
fit the accompanying Mega Drive or Genesis,
so there
which
was
I did not have.
so there was RAM in the hardware for save
Yeah, a
space.
little bit. Sega CD had built-in RAM that could hold a limited amount of save data.
I would
I
imagine you
actually
have
had a
to
Sega
clean
CD.
that fridge often.
Yeah, I actually had a Sega CD, and I had like two or three games for it. I mainly got it for uh let me see if I can find this game. This game was terrible, but I loved it as a kid. For some reason. Brutal Paws of Fury. It was a animal fighting game on Sega CD.
EAWS pause.
Paws of Fury.
Okay,
Yeah. Um
that
and I think I had Sonic CD. Of
that
course,
sounds whelming.
Sonic CD is amazing. Um uh, Listen, it was just really good. Um I'm trying now. Now I'm going through. You've got me on a Nintendo Dad's podcast going through a list of Sega CD games. Um, I can't. I don't think I know it's going to come up. I don't think I played Night Trap. Oh, I know a game I had for it too. Earthworm Jim Special Edition that had an extra level that was only in the Sega CD version. Um, Man, going back through this list, they had a lot more games on here than I thought. But yeah, Lunar, I played there, and there's two of those, Lunar the Silver Star and Lunar Eternal Blue. Both of those are in this collection. I really, oh, Mortal Kombat, I had that too for the Sega CD. Uh-oh.
Tim put in the chat, Whelming better be in the title of tonight's show. And I already put that
Whelming.
up there
That
as
just
a
needs to
candidate.
be, it's just Whelming. Shining Force CD, that was another one that I had. Y'all, these were not, I mean, I'm just to be honest with you, they were not the greatest games in the world. But uh,
David asks, I wonder how much Pause of Fury is now. So I'm going to price charting and
no
find out.
kidding. Uh, oh, and here's another one I'd forgot about that I did not have or that I had. WWE or WWF at the time, Rage in the Cage. It was a Sega CD only version of Royal Rumble for the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis.
Apparently,
It had a little bit different.
Pause of Fury was also Super Nintendo.
Really?
Yeah,
I think it came out later.
so says price charting. But so for the Sega CD version, it's apparently $13 loose, $24 complete in box, $52 new.
Wow.
Where the Super Nintendo is 13 and a half loose, 53 complete, 168 new.
Well, let me just tell you, as far as quality of that fighting game went, it ranks up there with Clay Fighter. So that ought to tell you something.
Right.
Uh, any Clay Fighter fan? I'm a Clay Fighter fan, okay, but it's unplayable now. But as a kid, man, I listen. I had a touch of the tism for Clay Fighter. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I got
I
obsessed with it
remember
for a
renting that
while.
game and liking it. I don't remember if I was any good at it, but I
I
remember at
listen,
least
the
playing
Elvis
it.
character, Blue Suede Goo, that was my dude. That's my dude. Oh man. Now I'm back in my mind. I've gone back in the misty nostalgia recesses of my mind to the early 1990s. Little Caesars Pizza and Fruit Punch Kool-Aid, staying up late with Link to the Past and Clay Fighter.
You're getting your double pizzas back then.
Double pizzas.
Yeah, you like you order a pizza from Little Caesars and they gave you two.
Oh, pizza. Yeah.
Pizza. Yeah,
No, we would get the pizza and we would get the crazy bread. And y'all, they used to have this stuff. And listen, I know I'm not crazy when I think about this. They used to have this stuff called crazy cheese. It's like a spread that you could put on the cheese stick, the breadsticks.
I don't remember
Oh
that,
my
but
gosh. I'd kill a man right now for some crazy cheese. That stuff was golly. This is what happens when Justin and Tim aren't here. This is where we go.
we can go
We're
off the
way
rails
off.
and no one cares.
Reservation. Yeah, that's right. Hey, here let's do talk about some other notable releases coming out soon. In just a little bit, High on Life will be out. That's May 6th. Don't forget, Capcom Fighting Collection 2 is out on May 16th. That's the one with Power Stone and Power Stone 2. Definitely games you should check out. Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time, is out in May as well as Monster Train 2. Both of those on May 21st. So May's going to be kind of a big month for releases. And as usual, don't forget check out our YouTube channel for first looks on a lot of these games. Right now, we've got first looks for Star Overdrive. We've got first looks for Monument Valley 1 and 2. Justin's reaction to Mario Kart is up there. There's another for 15 minutes of Skies Above. Tomorrow there'll be All in Abyss, Judge the Fake. And then Sacra Blue is up there. I don't even know what that game is. Bubble Ghost Remake, that's a new one. Morkel Regas Rage. And Disney Villains Curse Cafe. Those are our last few games that we've got up there. So tons of stuff and way more content coming soon. That's our news. Let's talk about what we've been playing. Hey, I didn't want to mention or forget to mention this to you, but I didn't want us to go into let's discuss. But we could just put it here since we're talking about games. We are in the midst of putting together our top 25 Switch games of all time list. This will be a list that we source from all four dads as well as our listeners. And so you can either do one of two things. You can go to our Discord if you are a friend of the show, a patron, and there is a sub channel there called Top 25 Switch, where you can leave your top 25 list, or you can leave your top 25 list by emailing us at nintendodads@gmail.com with your list. And as we do with our top 10 list at the end of each year, this will all be aggregated together into one big list that we eventually present as our definitive top 25 games of the entirety of the Switch's life cycle. It's
Yeah.
been really
I,
difficult
I think it's going to be an
to
interesting race to see what's number one and what's number two. But
absolutely, absolutely, because I was looking at your list, and right now your number one is my number four
right,
without saying anything,
yeah,
without giving
and
it away.
I have one other listener's list already, and like my number one and two is basically flipped for him.
Yeah. So it's gonna be very interesting. And we want to reveal that hopefully before the Switch 2 launches. So you need to go ahead and get your lists in either over on our Discord or by emailing us at nintendodads@gmail.com. So Jesse, speaking of games, what have you been playing?
Okay, so I did a very short stream of a game this weekend. I think it was like 15 minutes, and then at that point I was already fed up with it. It's called Hook Complete Edition, which
Is it
is
like so is it Robin Williams is in this game?
no, this is
And
a
Dustin Hoffman?
No, this is like a relaxing puzzle game.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, the original Hook launched on Switch in 2019. I have never heard of it. I didn't notice it.
Nope.
It's it's still there for $2.
Yeah. Hook one and hook two in this package.
Yeah, the complete edition is Hook One and Hook Two for $4. So if you're in the mood for a cheap puzzle game, give this a look. Basically, it's those, here's a bunch of lines. Some of them have little bumps on them. So if there's a straight line here and a line with a bump on it, I can't. And the goal is remove the lines, pull them out. I can't pull this one with the hook because it's gonna snag on the other line. So I have to remove the other line first. Then I can remove the line with the bump. So it's
Oh.
just remove them in the right order.
So it's
Later
taking
on,
taking the whole thing apart.
pretty much, yes. So let and there's buttons. So like you hit the button and then the line that is connected to gets dragged away. Sometimes the line connected to them gets all squiggly and hard to see. So you kind of have to trace the lines a bit. Later on, I think around level 20, uh, they have like this rotating bit to change the connections between the button and where it goes. So okay, yeah,
No.
it does
I'm
start getting
watching
a
a
little
video of this right
challenging.
now. Nope.
And yeah, okay, yeah, and
Nope.
yeah, it there was apparently 69 puzzles in the first one. I don't know about the second one. So I played through like 27, 28 in my 15 minutes. So that's like a
It's
third of
not
the
bad.
game, the third of the first game.
And you just
So
quit.
again, it's $2 game. So I'm not asking for much
Well,
here.
it just says no, it says no stress, and I looked at that and my stress level went up.
Yeah, it basically I was got into the game a little agitated, hoping it was going to calm me down. It did not. I was the agitation probably led me to quit the game earlier than I
Sure.
normally would have. But yeah, it definitely did not stop the agitation.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it's there. It's $4. It was on sale for 350. I don't know if it's still on sale or not.
It is 339 or $3 and 39 cents right now. For a limited time it's normally 3.99. So big whopping 60 cent discount.
Right, 20% or nah.
Yeah.
I'm it's I'm not sure what it is off the top of my head. Maybe it's
15%.
15. 15.
Sure, who cares?
Okay. Yeah, it's still a discount. Again, it's a discount of a $4 game. Okay.
Yeah.
Going. I talked about this a few weeks ago, but Picross S, Doraemon, and F Characters Edition. I finished it. Did all the puzzles of all the modes. It had about 33 hours of time. Yeah, at the end, it gives you the time you spent in puzzles, and it was about 33 and a half hours, which is that's about normal for those Picross S games with the amount of content they have. They had see 150 normal Picross puzzles, 150 mega Picross puzzles, uh, 45 color Picross, a bunch of I think 5 clip Picrosses that each had 40 puzzles each, so that's 200 more. And then the extras section had 5 giant puzzles that are 30 by 30 or 40 by 30. So that they take
Dang.
a bit of time to go through. So, 45 minutes to an hour each for
Yeah.
those. Uh, um, I talked a little bit about All in Abyss, Judge the Fake last week. I finished chapter 1. I have not started chapter 2 yet. It is, the reason why I've been putting a lot of Picross time in is, I kind of multitask playing that while I do other things, watch a YouTube video or something. But most of the other games I play, obviously don't want to multitask that, and so I haven't really put a lot of time extra into All in Abyss. But that is the game I want to get back into. I'm liking that story. Again, it's it's poker with special abilities. Kind of is
Nice.
the elevator pitch, I guess you can use. Um, then the last game I want to talk about, Blanco mentioned it in the Discord that he rolled credits on it, and I'm like, oh, I completely forgot about that game. I wanted to play it. It's called Blue Prince. Prince as in young boy royalty Prince,
Okay.
where the game opens up with the reading of a will, and he's going to give everything to this grand nephew of you the player character, with the stipulation that you find the 46th room of a 45 room mansion. So it's a puzzle game.
Okay.
The the rules are each day you can't bring anything in from outside. You can't take anything out of the mansion at the end of the day. And you cannot sleep overnight. So at the end of the day, you've got to pretty much just wrap up, you think of it like a roguelike at this point. So the start of the next day, everything resets and you got to start over. The gameplay loop is you enter the main entrance into a large welcoming area that has an exit east, west, north. So you pick a door, and then you are drawn three random question mark uh, rooms that you would to add to your blueprint, PIRINT. So you're basically constructing the layout of the mansion as you play. So if you place a room with an entryway that doesn't match up with the room on the other side, then you got a door that you can't use. So some rooms will give you items, coins, keys, some or gems. Some rooms will require you to spend items to be able to enter it. And there's a 50 step limit per day so every time you go into a new room, it spends a step. But other rooms like bedrooms and the pantry will add to your step count. So there's a ranking system involved. I don't fully understand that yet, but I've pretty much played 2 days through to the point where I ran out of keys. Like if there's a locked door, I can't open it, and so I've exhausted my map space. I had pretty much had to say, all right, I'm done with day one. Give me day two. Everything resets. So all my inventory, the map, everything resets. So day two, I'm able to then place a different set of rooms. I ended up placing the pantry again in both rooms, and again, the pantry itself is unchanged. There's a shopping list, an orange. You collect the orange, you get 5 steps. That's the only thing of interest that I noticed in it. If I miss something, I don't know. Uh, the pantry is a room where wherever you place it, you walk forward, and then it has a 90-degree turn to the right. So if that's an occupied space, then you can't use it, or you can use it to connect into the occupied space if there's a door on the other side, or if it's an unoccupied space, then you can take that exit. You get a new random roll of three different rooms, and then you pick a room to place it in there to go in, and then explore that room. It's good, done in a first person perspective. A lot of people in the chat are saying that they're liking the game. Tim's on day 8. Uh, David says it took me a while to realize blueprints and blueprints. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I get it now.
Okay, yeah, that
I'm
was
slow today,
I
guys.
got that pun right away.
Yeah, blueprints. I get it. Okay. So, do you think you'll ever finish it?
Probably not. Again, I'm not. I don't think I'm in the right mindset for that. I have too many
Gotcha.
other things going on that's messing with my brain.
Uh-huh.
If I was in a clean room that nothing else going on, maybe. But that that environment doesn't exist. So I'm sure we'll hear from David. Says he's on day 29. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah,
so
he's far up in there.
so I'm sure Tim will talk about it next week.
Cool. Good deal.
But again,
Well,
that if you have PS Plus, I think it's a free download. It's also I think free on Xbox if you have Game Pass. I
yeah,
think.
I noticed it is on PS Plus. I put it in my queue just in case I ever wanted to play it. I do that with all the games, and
Yeah,
I'll probably
I know
never play half of them.
I will put games in my library, but very rarely click the download button. This is a
Yeah,
game I did download right away, so
yeah.
it was ready to go when I
Well,
remembered that
see,
I
I
had it.
noticed that High on Life was one of the games that was on PlayStation Plus not long ago,
Right.
and it's in my library, but I haven't played it yet. Speaking of games I've been playing, I've still been diving into Star Overdrive. I'm still really liking this game, guys. If you are looking for your next big open world game, and you want Zelda in, and as I'm going to say this as someone told me that I should say it in space. Well, there you go. You should go
Oh
check
boy.
out Star Overdrive. It's really really cool. Um, there the only downside that I've found to it is two things. Number one, the hitboxes like fighting sometimes is not exactly the best. Like there's no auto lock button, so imagine trying to fight in Breath of the Wild with no auto lock button, and there you go. The other thing
Right.
is some of the missions are mandatory race around the planet thing, like race around the open section of the map that require you to upgrade your hoverboard to a certain point. And if you don't, there's no way you're going to finish it. And you do, like even then to finish it, you have to like be hitting tricks and jumping off you know, the way you do a trick is to hold down the jump button and launch yourself off at the point of a hill, and your hoverboard will like flash and you'll know it's time to do a trick, and you do that with the right stick like by moving it up down left or right, and the more tricks you do before you land or you're able to complete before you land, the more boost you get. And so I've really enjoyed this. The puzzle solving mechanics in the mines are fun. One of the recent ones that I found was a new power that I unlocked, which was the ability to make a jump pad. And the way that you use the jump pad is that you have to like jump off high ledges and throw it under you. And then it uses your momentum to carry you higher. So the higher you are, the higher the jump pad sends you.
Mm.
And so you have to maneuver around the the map and find the best places to jump off of. Also, fought a boss for the first time, and it's a lot of fun. It's this like basically a big sandworm, and one of the powers you have is allows you to hook onto it, and so basically you ride behind it, like you surf behind it, while you switch to your other power, which just shoot these rays from your keytar, and you have to shoot it when it jumps. And like if you get it hurt enough, it'll turn on you and try to attack you. And that's your weapon is a keytar. So that's when you hit it and it knocks it back, and you have to start the process all over again. You do it about 5 or 6 times and it dies. But it was really a cool mechanic, like surfing behind this thing, avoiding the pillars it throws behind you and or throws out behind it to attack you. So tons of style in this game. I can't recommend it enough. It's $35 on the eShop, and if you're a Breath of the Wild fan or any kind of open world adventure game, I think this is right up your alley. Also, we got codes for Monument Valley 1 and 2, and I got those and I've been playing those. I've got a video over on our channel. If you have Apple Arcade, I'm just going to go ahead and say this full on disclosure. If you have Apple Arcade, you already have both of these games for free. All right. So if you're paying for Apple Arcade, there's absolutely zero reason for you to buy this on Switch. However, if you don't, then and you're a fan of like physics puzzlers, and that's the only way I know to describe it because it's not like you're not like bouncing stuff off or doing kinds of jumps, but the whole map is based on like picture boxes and MC Escher style drawings of like things upside down and going every which way. And you've got to figure out how to navigate this tiny little girl through those maps and like turn and twist and peel back layers and manipulate things to move it to a certain place where you can like create a path for yourself sometimes. Like perspective is everything. And I really, really like these games on my iPad. The problem with the Switch version is that they transitioned it over and they took the touchscreen controls away.
Oh,
So it's all done with your controller, and it only like the cursor, instead of being a free floating cursor where you could just like move it wherever, it wants to travel along the lines on the map.
tapping on certain grid points.
Yeah, and it's really, really freaking annoying sometimes. Like you'll end up moving because like you have to move it to where you want to go and hit the A button. And like sometimes there's like I'm trying to slide something. And instead I've moved my character. Because why? Because I didn't want to move my character, but it wouldn't map to the right place. It's very touchy in some levels. And so that's the only frustrating part. The good thing about these is they're very cheap on Switch. I think right now, well, I said really cheap, $10 each. So again, if you have Apple Arcade and this sounds like something that would interest you, play it there. If not, and this sounds like something that would interest you, maybe use some gold coins on. Well, you can't use gold coins anymore. Crap.
Well, if you have them, you can still use them.
You can,
You
yeah,
just
you can,
can't.
if you have them, you can use them.
You
But
just can't
anyway,
earn new ones.
yeah, yeah. Also, just for everybody's knowledge, they're really short. All right, like the first one is like 10 levels, and then there's an appendix that's 8 levels, and then there's one level because I beat the first one. There's one called Ida's birthday. Your character's named Ida. So it's Ida's birthday, and it's like a standalone one level. So about 20-ish levels in the whole thing, and you're done.
Mhm.
The second one's the same way. But if you like, I will say this: the last level on the appendix of Monument Valley 1 is called the Oubliette, and it is just it's chef's kiss. If you like trying to figure out all that stuff, it's because there's like you turn like it starts out and it's just a square on the floor, and you push a button and it pops up into a box, and then when you turn it, it turns into a different box, and then when you turn it back, it's a different box, and it's just if you like games like that, figuring out how it all fits together, then definitely check out Monument Valley 1 and 2. And definitely if you have questions about it, you're like, I don't know, then check out our video over on YouTube about it and you'll see. All right. So that's what we've been playing. Let's turn on the community spotlight. All right, this is where I would love to remind everybody that we are going to be giving away count them, 5 copies of Mario Kart World in May. How do you win one of these copies of Mario Kart World, you might ask? Well, uh, all you have to do is one thing: be a friend of the show over on Patreon. Yes, A dollar gets you in the door. A dollar. You can win that $80 game for a dollar. All right. All you have to do is be a Patreon member in good standing in the month of May. It means you can join April 30th as long as you're a Patreon member in good standing through the month of May. You will be entered to win. You can only win one copy, but hey, it's it should help, right? I mean, if you don't get the bundle, that's taking $80 off your plate or more if you're in another region.
I will do want to mention that the second week I'll be traveling that evening and won't be at the hotel until close to midnight, if not past midnight. So we're likely gonna do a recording Friday night. So at least we can talk about what we experienced during the first day at PAX,
Yeah, I won't
and then
be on
so
that show
you won't be on the show, but the Tim and Justin and I will be.
because it's going to be a live recording somewhere at PAX.
Yeah, I think we'll pick one of our hotel rooms.
Hotel room, a corner, the men's bathroom. It's going to be somewhere there that you're going to be able to be a part and see the live dads all in one place. And I'll just be back here cheering them on because I'm excited they
Yay.
get to go to PAX, even if I don't. So yeah, PAX is coming up second weekend of May. Be sure to check out all our coverage over there as well. Hey, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions from the community this week. So let's dive straight into these. Dwayne's Games asks, I have no insider knowledge, but I predict that Mario Kart World's battle mode will also be more open world a la Fortnite. When did we
He
get
said
this
that
question?
before the direct.
He sent the question before the direct. Now, that's not to say that there may not be a mode that is like that. We'll have to see. Why would they
Right.
not take advantage of an open world like that? 24 enter, one leaves.
Right.
Mario
It
Kart.
only makes sense.
It's a big map to drive across, though. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll have like computer characters that stalk you once, I don't know. Or maybe the storm will shrink. Who knows? It's a good idea. I like it. Darth Platypus says, what deep cut character do you want to show up in Mario Kart World? Oh my gosh.
Slip ice.
The what?
Slip ice?
Slip Ice. Is that
Yes.
from Mario Brothers?
Yeah, the ice things from Mario Brothers.
Oh, that's a good one.
Like
Because
I
they've
think it
got
starts
Koopas,
starting
they've
on
got the
stage
crab,
6 or 8. Yeah.
right? Oh wow. That's what look, that honestly, that's a little bit better than mine because I think I agree with Zablanc in our Discord. There's only one answer here, and it's Wart.
Mamu.
No,
That's the
Wart.
Japanese name for wart, but
Oh, yeah, 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 that's true. That's true. I forgot that. Man, there's
but
so many.
if they do that, I want them to call it Mamu though, because they do in Link's Awakening.
I don't want him to be called Mamu. That's weird. It's like Mama. Any Mario 2 enemy other than Ninja and Babam, because basically that's and Shy Guy. We've got Shy Guys, Babams, and Ninjas that have stuck around. And
Right.
Pokey. Pokey was from there too. So there's actually more, I guess. Like, can you imagine a car, like a cart coming over the hill and Fanto is driving it? It's just a mask laying in a seat. Creepiest thing ever. He's driving a key on wheels. That's what I'm talking about. Mouser, come on.
Oh yeah,
But if
Mouser
if
would be a good one.
if Mouser is in the game, he
Triclide.
has to. Yes, Triclide, Clawful, all those guys. But
How
if
he's
Mouser,
driving with no arms, I don't know. Driving lessons from Goomba, I guess.
Fry Guy, he's just a living ball of fire. But here's what I'm saying: if Mouser's in the game, they have to bring back the voice actor that did his voice acting in the Game Boy Advance version. of
Oh,
the game. You know, like when he got hit by a bomb, he would scream with this weird German accent, agony.
uh,
You need
I
to
don't
go
think
look up a
I've
clip.
never
Go look
never
up a
played that
clip.
one.
Mouser boss fight Mario Advance, Super Mario Brothers 2 Advance.
Yeah,
It's
because I remember
so
like
weird.
on the NES, it sounds like a
Yes, but they took these games and they felt like they had to fill every bit of silence with Mario and all their voices, you know,
yeah.
screaming
And
and
that's the reason why
jumping
I
and
haven't played that version because it gets so chatty.
yeah, it's very chatty. It's very chatty. But yes, In It Wart is the top of the list. Slip Ice, I love it. Man. You know what would be really cool, Jesse? If one of the costumes for Mario was the original Mario Brothers version. Like the way he looks and everything, like all 8
But
bit and
oh yeah.
like him and Luigi both.
I thought you were talking about when like the original Jumpman art. He was a little lanky, actually.
Oh, that would be you know who they need to bring back? Deep cut character. Weird Mario from
Yes,
Mario Maker. Needs yes.
yes, yes.
Weird Mario. That's it. That's our answer. He just like at the start of the race, his cart just appears out of a door. He just, just opens and just kind of rolls out. And he's all there. He's like, "Hey guys, I'm Weird Mario. I just came to race in your race."
Oh, that's creepy sounding.
Yeah, he's like that weird uncle that hangs around, at every family function. You just keep him at arm's length. It's like, oh, that's old cousin so and so, cousin Eddie. It's Weird Mario. Man, what a team, Weird Mario and Wart. Here's another question. Hoots asks us, I've had my first ever taste of Bucky's Beaver Nuggets. Come to find
Congratulations.
out, they're basically Cheetos if they were dipped in whatever waffle crisp cereal gets dipped in. Delightful. What is the best flavor of Beaver Nuggets? Jesse, have you had Beaver Nuggets?
I have. I've had the original version and then like a spicy version. I
Oh, the
know there's
bold and
other
spicy.
versions. I did like the spicy one.
So there are other versions, and they're growing. There's
Yeah, I don't think
original.
I've had any others though.
So let me just drop some Bucky's knowledge right here. This is sad that I know this. It just shows you how much of a fatty fat I am. Here it is. The original ones are the ones that Hoots described, which are
Yes.
basically puff corn. If you've ever had puff corn, it's very light and airy, crispy, dipped in some kind of caramel, like that hardens and kind of gives it a shell.
Yeah.
So they're sweet. They're overly sweet, but they're delicious. There's a little bit of buttery saltiness with them. It's good. Those are called beaver nuggets. All right. The rest of the line past that are the same shapes, like the same base, but they're called Bucky Nuggies. I don't know why there's a difference, but the original are beaver nuggets, and then they have Bucky Nuggies. So
Like
Bucky Nuggies
nuggies.
now,
Uh,
Bucky Nuggies have white cheddar, they have jalapeno white cheddar, they have habanero cheddar, they have bold and spicy, and they now have cinnamon sweet and sea salt caramel. And the cinnamon sweet, we just tried these for the first time on the way to a couple weekends ago on a trip. They taste like a cinnamon roll. They're
nice.
wonderful. They're wonderful. So yeah, for me though, the go-to flavor of beaver nuggets or Bucky nuggies when I go is white cheddar. Man, I could tear a bag of them down quick. They're so good. They're so good. They go, and they're not like overpowering, but it's like a strong cheese flavor. Really good. I can't eat a lot of the regular beaver nuggets at a time because it's too sweet.
Hmm.
So and I have a bag of bold and spicy beaver nuggets in my snack stash here at the house. I'm saving them for a rainy day. It's kind of like we have a one box of Christmas tree cakes left that we've frozen. They're in our freezer for an emergency. It's like, had a really bad day. I'm gonna thaw out a Christmas tree cake.
When it's 100 degrees outside.
Yes,
Just
see, that's what I'm thinking. This summer, Christmas in July. There you go. All you plebeians are like, "Oh, I'm so hot. I'm eating regular uh peasant ice cream." Oh no, I'm eating Christmas tree cakes. All right. A couple more questions here. David Bileka says, with the Switch 2 mouse controls, will Nintendo make a Mario Maker 3 or try another franchise perhaps?
see them trying that. And of course, Mario Paint is an obvious one as well. And
Yeah, I think Mario Paint's obvious.
the I think it was the original Mario Maker actually had the gnat swatting game from Mario Paint in it if you did a certain trick.
You know what I wish they would do is I wish they would put that Nat Swanning game in the Welcome Tour.
Yeah, that would be a good example.
'Cause that was a fun game. That was a really fun game. I, David, I really personally think they are going to make a Mario Maker 3. I think it's a shoe in at this point. I think that we'll get all the old styles that we've had, and I think that we will get a Mario Wonder style with that as well.
Are we going to get that Mario 2 that we never had?
Ah, that would be nice. I hope so.
The return of Mamu.
Yep, there you go. Just a stage with nut. You drop down and it's 10 Mamus. There you go, right there. It's A plus stage design.
Vegetable feeding time.
Yep, feed Mamu. Yeah. So I hope so, and I do hope. I hope we get both. I hope we get a Mario Maker and a Mario Paint. And I would also like to see us get a Sims game now that there's mouse controls. I think that makes a lot
Yeah.
of sense. So yeah, good. Jamie Penny asked us this. I've answered yes to the poll, and the poll he's referring to was over on our weekly update posts that we do every week over on Patreon. Those are free for the public. You don't have to be a Patreon member to see those. You can just go to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads, and the weekly updates are free for everybody. And you can even
I,
comment
I
and
think
answer.
I think it's just a follow. You can follow for free.
Yeah, that's right. Just follow us over there. And he answered the poll, which was after today's direct, are you excited about Mario Kart World? And he says, I've answered yes to the poll, but that will be when I eventually get the system, as I'm going to wait for a special edition Switch 2 in the future before buying one. I would be, I want to know which special edition. Is it just any? Like if they made a Fire Emblem special edition, is that going to push you over?
Because I remember like Wii U had a special edition, we had a Zelda special edition, pretty quick past launch. But
It
since
was the one that celebrated the Wind Waker, right? When it came
yeah,
out. Man, I loved that one.
yeah, it wasn't a lot. It wasn't very dramatic. It was just had extra little gold
Yeah.
trimmings
I just thought
around
it
the
was cool
edge.
because it was so subtle.
But yeah, exactly. But I had mine on day two, and just and wasn't ready to buy a second Wii U that fast.
Yeah,
So so I'm like, I wish I could just buy the game bad by itself.
that would be really cool. Yeah, this came out. Just wanted to put a date on that. September 20th, 2013.
Okay, so it was just shy of a year after launch.
Yep. Yep. And it came with a copy of Wind Waker. Bundle has a black Wii U console, a gamepad controller with the Hyrule Crest and symbols, a download code for Wind Waker HD, and a digital copy of Hyrule Historia, all for $299.99. Back when Nintendo loved us. Well,
Yeah,
guys,
I
that
wanted it, but I couldn't justify it just having
yeah,
a less than a year old system.
Yeah, I could not have bought that. That has been episode 524. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. And thanks for all you do for us. As we close out the show, we want to say a huge thanks to our Patreon producers, Dave Ernsberger and Jacqueline Amira, as well as our other 100 plus patrons over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads, as well as almost 20 Twitch Prime subscribers, nearly 1,475 Twitch followers, and guys, we're inching super close to 8,000 YouTube subscribers. We're just shy of there. So if you're not following us or subscribing to us on any of those places, head over and give us a shout, give us a follow, give us a subscribe, ring the bell, do the thing. We'll love you. Really, thank you to everybody. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. You can go over to nintendodads.org and check out everything we've got over there, including our NINDADS family of podcasts and our recommended podcasts like Star Wars Dads, Mega Dads, Dad Crossing, and Retro Logic, and all their family of podcasts as well. You can see our latest YouTube videos and tweets, links to all of our social media, Patreon, and Extra Life pages, and pick yourself up some sweet Nintendo Dads merch. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, Manscaped.com, where you can get 20% off your order with free shipping when you use the code NINDADS. That's NINDADS. Treat yourself before you beat yourself over at manscaped.com with the code NINDADS. Email us at nintendodads@gmail.com or call in and leave a voicemail at 929-25-NDADS. That's 929-256-3237. Big thanks to OC Remix for the music we use throughout the show. And a reminder, wherever you listen to the audio version of this podcast, wherever you catch it at, leave us a 5-star review and some comments. It helps push the show up the charts, helps people find us. More people get to listen. The world becomes a better place. It's all because of you. All because you left that 5-star review and some kind words. Guys, thanks for listening again. This has been episode 524 for me, for Jesse, and the rest of the dads. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Nintendo Dads.
Do you know who I am? Nintendo Dads Podcast.